have long been a fan of Ikigai for years. Actually, I have a big fascination for the Japanese culture, from manga and anime to haiku to aikido and many more. That's why I put their culture in such a high regard. And it was late when I realized I got my Ikigai tattoo wrong. It's the anniv of my first ever tattoo. I got it 1 year ago from this date. I placed it at the back. Ito yung picture. So around 365 days ago, when I was planning to get inked, I understood that it was a crucial decision I have to make. Tattoos are lifetime marks. And of course, it was my first time, so I was really nervous. Not only does the placement of the tattoo on which body part has significance, but the design as well, especially if you're going to customize the design. And the one that I chose is Ikigai. It's a Japanese concept which roughly translates to a reason for being. If you do a quick search in the internet, you will probably find this image. This popular image is depicted with 4 circles equally interlocking with one another and creating a small circle in the middle. Each circle is a space which bears question. What do you love doing? Ano ba yung mga bagay na you're good at? What can you be paid for? Or what do you think the world needs? And the one thing at the very center is life's Ikigai. So there, I had it. I was so excited. I posted on Facebook with the long-ass tattoos, and I even made an article about Ikigai in my blog at Medium. I have long been a fan of Ikigai for years. Actually, I have a big fascination for the Japanese culture, from manga and anime to haiku to aikido and many more. That's why I put their culture in such a high regard. And it was late when I realized I got my Ikigai tattoo wrong. What the Yes, my tattoo which was inspired by Ikigai is apparently technically not Ikigai. Ganun din siguro yung isip nyo. The ones we usually see online, that is not Ikigai. It is Andres Uzunaga's Venn diagram of purpose. It was first created in 2011 and got published the following year in the book by Borja Villaseca, What Would You Do If You Weren't Afraid? So ito, just for clarification, this is how the mix-up happened. In 2014, around 2 years after it was first published, Marc Winn, the one who created the Ikigai image that we can see right now, merged the Japanese concept of Ikigai with Zuzunaga's Venn diagram of purpose. Mr. Winn was inspired by it and realized it fits well with the idea of Ikigai. So, pinalitan niya yung word na purpose sa gitna and replaced it with Ikigai. Well, you can see an actual video of Marc Winn explaining the history and the root of his idea of Ikigai linked below. So, imagine, a permanent mark on your body is not only inaccurate, but I think it can be categorized as cultural misappropriation. It's a horrifying thing to think about. So I went back to my Medium article and revised it just so I can credit the image to Andres Zunaga. But what about my tattoo? Ito ba yung parang nagpatattoo ka pero lasing ka, good times with friends, and nagising ka and na-realize na mali pala yung napatattoo mo? Is this a mistake that I will carry at my back for the rest of my life? Literally. I'd like to think no. Just a quick backgrounder. Originally, the design I wanted for my first ever tattoo back in December 2019 is I wanted to put the Japanese characters of Ikigai in the middle. But then on the last minute, parang naisip ko na mas maganda ata if I replace it with a picture of the universe. Thank God, or the universe rather, that I had that changed. It would have then be 100% culturally inaccurate if I placed Ikigai on that image. Ikigai, to be more precise, is really not a solid or structured concept with just 4 dimensions. It's actually a multifaceted and it's a mixture of everything that makes you happy, that makes you choose to live and wake up early in the morning. If you want to have a diagram, this is an image of Ikigai coming from the website of Japan National Tourism Organization. So there's difference and it's really multifaceted. But I believe the pursuit of happiness, finding your reason for being or life's purpose is such a universal concept. That's my tattoo design. I don't subscribe to the idea that something universal, a human experience, should just be restricted by a label, by a concept, or be monopolized by a person or a culture. But of course, the creation of the original idea should always be credited. And fortunately, prior to getting the final tattoo design, meron akong good sense already of what Ikigai is all about. That it's about meshing together different facets of our being and our experiences that makes us feel alive. Then, by doing that, you try to see the common ground of where all of these gravitate to. I don't know if this is me rationalizing things, but I'd like to think na even if technically hindi tama yung visual depiction of Ikigai that I had in my mind, the tattoo became acceptable for me because it's all derived from the idea of Ikigai, not necessarily on the visual depiction or the person of origin or kung kanino ba dapat appropriate yon. So that's all that matters. And as long as you truly understand and digest the idea of it, you can never go wrong. So So if you're trying to figure out what your Ikigai is, try to strip away the labels, try to strip away the how-tos of life, and just try to sense the different things that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel alive. You can never go wrong with that. That is the reason why this video and the other content I publish in my YouTube channel, Medium blog, and Instagram account have other materials that are connected to it. Just like Ikigai and Zuzunaga's Venn diagram purpose, you get to appreciate more the one in the middle, this very content that you're watching right now, if you try to check out the other related facets that makes you appreciate more what I'm trying to say here. That's why you can see the image of the diagram at my cover photo above. This is what my YouTube channel is all about. If I added something of value to you, please subscribe and share it to your friends who might relate to this. The point in everything that I say here is there's always a shared experience between two different people. There is a common ground. Happy New Year, everyone!